Hi, Gar412 here with the last of the 3.15 Path of Exile videos. Today I'm just going to show you how I prefer to set up my Path of Exile account for the transfer to standard. A lot of people don't care, they'll just leave everything to right, delete their characters, etc. I have a more precise approach. I collect things from leagues into standard. So that's what I'm going to show you here today. As you can see, I've only got two characters left in the Softcore Expedition Trade League, my placeholder and my trapper, which we will log into now. I'm just going to go D&D because I still have some things for sale, and we'll hop into the hideout. There we go. So this is how I set my stash up. Not a lot left showing on my stash tabs. All of these tabs are actually empty. That's my spare currency tab for selling currency, empty quads, everything here is empty. Just click through. Here you can see the old league tabs that I had set up. And now any build that I liked playing during the league gets saved in a tab, set up in a very particular manner. Excuse me. So this was my Caustic Arrow Witch Occultist. It did pretty well, not as great as it usually does. I just lacked currency, and with the cost of Empowers and Enlightens in this league being quite high, for me as a casual player who plays inefficiently, I don't have that much Exalted Orbs, so I could only afford to buy 2 Enlightens and 1 Empower. I leveled them up myself between all the characters I played, so we're missing an Enlighten level 3 there and an Empower level 3 here. Level 4s would be better, but I don't like taking chances on corrupting gems and bricking them, and I can't afford the level 4s. So this is all the gear for the Caustic Arrow Occultist Witch, which will get transferred into standard as is. It'll become a remove only tab, and it'll sit in there so I can look at it to see how I progress through all the leagues I've played. That was the Watcher's Eye I picked up for it, mainly for the discipline, and then the Malevolence Bleed was not too bad. It was only about 45 chaos, so the gear wasn't that great. This was a bow I picked up around about level 50 or so, I think, and I didn't bother replacing it because it had more or less everything I needed on there. That's the helm, the amulet, the soul strike, chest, which again I was having difficulty finding a better one for a cost I could afford, the belt, gloves, boots, and then the usual flasks I run with. I didn't even, oh my days, what a noob mistake, I didn't even roll my Quicksilver flask. There we go. So that's that one. This is my shield throw, special throw gladiator. I went an impale version. Again, didn't quite have enough Exalted Orbs to buy the Lionized Vision 6 links, and by the time I did, it was like 4 or 5 days ago, and I just didn't want to spend out that amount of money for a character I wasn't going to be playing anymore. So that's that. Prismatic Eclipse as usual. I did have an Elder Influence Helm I was trying to roll on Harvest for the -9 Fizz. Never got the roll with stats that I liked, so that got sold. Shield, the amulet I had, the belt, the rings, standard gear really. These are the gems I managed to get with the Watcher's Eye. And then the failure that was the Inquisitor brand, mainly because of the change in mana, and again the cost of the Enlightens. In 3.14, when I was testing this build, I could pick up in level 2 Enlightens for about 30 chaos each, and in Empower was a little bit more, maybe 50 or 60 C. I didn't expect the changes that GGG made, and I certainly didn't expect the impact that the changes that GGG made to have. So this character barely made it to maps. That character had a ridiculous amount of deaths. and this time around I'm not going to risk something like this again. I'll try and wait for the patch notes out. I am practicing a build for 3.16 already, but we shall see how that goes. Quick drink. Into my map stash tab. I like keeping the map stash tab. Again, this will be transfer over into standard and become a remove only tab. So I keep one of each map in precisely the same location. In every tab I can click on any of these and the map for that area will be in exactly the same place. As you can see, I didn't really get into red maps this league. I think I managed to get to 21 stones. Yeah, 21, 22, and that I got bored. I have this problem with the current Atlas since they introduced the Conquerors, that once I've got my 20 stones, that's it. I run out of patience. I just cannot be bothered to grind all those maps to get more. This is my permacard tab. I have two card tabs, one for general use and one for card sets I'm going to take over to standard. So that's all this is. This is full sets I never intend to turn in, and they will just sit in standard as part of my collection. These two quad tabs mark standard and STD, which is shorthand for standard, and standard 2 are everything I'm going to be taking over to standard that I will use in the last couple of weeks up to 3.16 where I do play standard. This is why I have things go over to standard, because I do enjoy playing Path of Exile most of the time. Near the end of the league, there's not much trading going on. I'm not a crafter. I hate crafting, so I tend to sell all my materials to get them to buy the gear I want and go from there. So in standard, I around about this time, the softcore trade league is kind of dead unless you're in red maps grinding and juicing, which I don't do. So yeah, that's that. This is my last tab I have. This is just selling all the junk. Over the last couple of weeks, I've just removed the tab, reduced the price down from whatever it was. It goes down in 5s, then 10s, and then it goes down to 1 chaos, and it sits there for a couple of days of 1 chaos. So whatever doesn't sell after that just gets emptied, vended, and the next tab comes down. So this is my last tab. It is quite full. Most of it's in here is crap. This will go down to 5 chaos tonight. Tonight being about 1800 hours UK time. All of that will go 5 chaos, and then tomorrow it'll go down to 1 chaos, and then after that probably down to a blessing orb. After that it'll just be vended. And then this is my currency tab. This is from items I've sold. So is this, and that's why I've got some. I don't want to invest this in characters now. The only character I've got left is the Heist Trapper, which you can't see on screen now, and that character is about to go, and I'm going to show you on screen now what I do with the characters because I'm not playing anymore. So this is my Atlas. I just go through, I chuck the watchstones back mainly to check that they haven't got any sextant modifiers left, because if they have sextant modifiers they end up in a remove tab. So by putting them back on here, it doesn't take very long. If they have sextant modifiers, I will run the maps to remove the sextant modifiers, or more likely I will put them on the placeholder character, because then they'll be in that character's inventory, and then when I delete that character, the watchstones go with it. So I don't have watchstones. This is the thing, a lot of people are like, remove only tabs, I just hide them, I won't deal with them. Well, that is a lot of data that the GGG servers have to hold. It takes you an hour or so a day. I mean, especially round about now, nothing much is going on. So spend an hour a day or less just vendoring everything. If you're not interested in ever playing standard, just delete everything. Vendor everything into currency tabs, and then let the currency tab go over, or just delete it. Find a streamer that you like and ask if they're doing an end game build, and could you donate your currency to them to help them build a good build, like Yossi does, or Empyrean, he does it as well. They collect currency from their community who are no longer play standard. Badger did one as well. And who did the bow? Grimro. Grimro did a community bow project trying to get a perfect Fizz tornado shot bow. And his community donated exalted orbs and various other currency. Do that. If you don't care about standard, do that. Or find someone in Act 1 and just randomly trade and give them whatever you don't want. If you're not going to use it, why bother holding on to it? So, there's no section modifiers left on the maps. So I go to one of my empty tabs now. I dump it here. I right click it, send it over here, and I drag it back. And I turn it to black. 3.15. Heist. Trapper. Save that. I immediately go on to... I didn't even Uber ascend with this character. Lol. Check for jewels. So, go up here. Jewel. There we go. There we go, that's better. There's the Watcher's Eye. Look for the flashes. None there. There's another one. Take that out. Come on. That's it. No more. I don't think I did one up there. No, I think that's it. Just those two. Yep. So the jewels are out. We're going here. We start with the helm. The helm goes there. Weapon goes here. That weapon goes here. Chest sits there. Belt goes below the chest. Gloves go partly below there. Then the boots. Then the rings. So I do the rings last. Trinket comes off. Goes in there. And finally the amulet. Flasks go down the side. And then any and all jewels go up there. Turn the cosmetics off. Even if you delete the character, the cosmetics still show up as being used. So again, 30 odd seconds of just removing them. There we go, and that's that done. So we then go here, we go to the character selection, and we hit delete. And that just leaves my placeholder. This character now will survive in Softcore Expedition trade for until the transfer happens. And the reason to do that is because it's easier to transfer a character over with the stash tabs. All the characters I've played, these four here, I'll put links to their POBs down below. Apart from the Inquisitor, that was a failure this league. Just because, so my version of Spectral Swilther Gladiator, my Caustic Arrow Witch Occultist, which I use for Conquerors and boss killing, and the Heist Trapper will all go below in the description for Path of Building, so you can have a look how I built them. Most of them, well, the Heist Trapper and the Caustic Arrow Witch I have done for 3 or 4 leagues exactly the same way. Exactly the same way. The Spectral Thrill Shield Throw Gladiator took over from the Lacerate build I usually run, and the Inquisitor Stormbrand character was supposed to be the league start because it worked so well in 3.14, but alas, it did not survive the 3.15 patch notes. I hope you found this interesting and helpful. Please take the time to sort out your stash tabs before the transfer over to standard. I would do it for you, but GGG classes that as account sharing, which is against TOS. I have the time to do it, but I'm not allowed to. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time.